Guys, so today I'm going to be working on a Dots for Eyes commission, and since I have a 2.5 giveaway in the works that involves some of these materials, I thought I would take a second and explain some of my tools to you as we go along. So, since this is a Dots for Eyes commission and it's not an inked commission, it means we're going to be using primarily non-photo blue lead, like this color Eno Soft Blue Lead, which I use in a color Eno Soft Blue Pencil, but I will be sending the winner of the giveaway a Sumo Grip pencil because those are actually way more comfortable. So 0.7 color Eno lead, which is what I use for the initial drawing, and then I'm going to go over it with graphite. And I happen to prefer Pentel's Hi Polymer graphite. It is fairly easy to find. It's less prone to snapping. And I like to use it. I used to use drafting pencils, but they have a tendency, like this, like an all metal graph gear, they have a tendency to tear up my hand. In fact, last year I wore through my artist callus at MTAC. I was drawing so much to the point where we had to tape up my hand because I was bleeding. So I've switched to something that's less detrimental to my hand health. Two of my favorites are the Faber Castel Polymatic in 0.7, and I'll be sending the winner of the giveaway one of these. But I also like Faber Castell's Grip 1345, also in 0.7. Now, I pretty much never use the erasers on these things. I instead prefer to use Pentel's Clic Erase, which is just like a white vinyl eraser. These are pretty common, easy to find. The winner will also receive one of these. You can get them everywhere, which is one of the reasons why I like them. They work well and they're easy to find. But I also use Mono's erasers in the 2mm by 5mm rectangle and the 2mm round. And the winner of the giveaway is going to receive a 2mm round. So we're starting with a fresh sheet of cardstock, which is important in my opinion. I don't like it when my commissions come to me on flimsy sheets of like sketchbook paper or cartridge paper. I like working with and receiving this heavier paper. It feels higher quality. And we're going to start out with our non-photo blue sketch. And I still use basic principles of anatomy when I'm doing even the most simple chibi sketch because I want it to feel solid. And I will demonstrate that for you guys in this time lapse. So you guys can see I have most of the basic details sketched in. I haven't finished him in yet, but everything else is sketched in. And with the non-photo blue, you're not really looking for a high level of refinement. You're going to use your pencil to do that. You just want enough refinement that you can remember what you're drawing. And people ask this all the time. They want to know if I erase my non-photo blue out from underneath. The answer is no. I pretty much never do. If I want to ink over something and then erase it, I'm going to use graphite. Non-photo blue lead has wax in it. It's a lot like a color pencil lead. So it can leave resist on the paper. It can be kind of difficult to work with in your inks. If you erase the non-photo blue lead out from under it, it can tend to make them gray. That's just personal preference on my part. Different artists use different brands of non-photo blue. A lot of them use turquoise leads made by Sanford in a lead holder, or Karen Dosh's sketching non-photo blue pencil. I've rehomed all of those because I just don't use them, so I can't pull them out for your reference. But there are a variety of non-photo blue products on the market, so really you just need to find one that works for you if you're interested in using it. There are a lot of artists who also use red or basically any other color pencil color that they can drop in Photoshop. And that's what, if I were doing this not as a commission but as a more finished piece of art, I would drop the non-photo blue in Photoshop. And if you really want, I recommend, if you're penciling over non-photo blue, I recommend using a softer lead like a B lead or even softer than that, because it will be able to go over the non-photo blue a lot better. And you notice that this part is a lot darker than this part. They came from the same package. They're the same brand. There are going to be inconsistencies. Unfortunately, that's just part of life, and often that happens with art supplies. So don't be discouraged if it happens to you. It happens to pretty much anyone who regularly uses non-photo blue lead, and it's just you know, a property of the product. So right now I'm working on refining the details on him, and I'm working from a tiny cell phone reference picture. So when I stall out, it's because I'm trying to see the photo. And also trying to remain on camera so you guys can see what I'm up to. So I will go ahead and finish sketching this in using non-photo blue. Also, some leads will be a lot more brittle than others. Older leads do tend to, like, I guess they're absorbing moisture. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but they do become brittle over time. They can be light sensitive. So really, you want to keep them in your pencil, keep them in their case, or keep them in a drawer. You don't really want them hanging out around your table. They can get lost that way, and they're fairly expensive because they are a tool that I use every day, and they have greatly enhanced my ability to draw and my ability to draw quickly. I have no problem spending the money at all, but it is still a resource, so you still want to conserve it carefully. Okay, so we have the basics drawn in now with non-photo blue lead, and it's time to start using graphite. And this pencil actually does not have as soft a lead as I would like. So I gotta, oh, neither of them do. All right, that's fine. I'll go ahead and put some non-photo blue lead in my Polymatic. And, you know, you can load from the front or the back. Most people do load their mechanical pencils from the back. For me, I load them from the front, partially because the non-photo blue lead can be very brittle, and this allows me to control it better. But also, if I want to put in just one piece of a single type of lead in a pencil that is full of another type of lead, this helps keep it from getting mixed up. It helps me keep track of it. And you can, I mean, there is a chance you can ruin the knock mechanism or the feeding mechanism on these sort of pencils by doing that. I've done it for years, but I also am aware that it can ruin it. So, you know, that is a risk I'm willing to take, but it may not be a risk you want to take. And you can see, let me zoom in, that graphite, oh shoot, no, I can't pick it up. You can see that the graphite goes down pretty well over the non-photo blue. So I'm going to go ahead and start penciling in this commission. So I have this area on the hand which sort of got away from me. So this is a perfect time to pull out this super tiny Clic type eraser and go in there and just fix that area. And these aren't they're getting easier to find, the mono type erasers. You can definitely find them on Amazon. And if you check the description below, I will have links to everything I talked about in the video. So if you aren't my 2.5K winner, you can amass your own kit. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. Depending on your level of comfort, interest, and whether or not they paid you for it, you can go ahead and fill in the spot blacks, especially if you feel like it'll make the composition stronger. And there are a few ways you can go ahead and pull highlights out. You can mark your highlights in to begin with and then reserve them. I mean, yeah, so you're not coloring that in. So we can do that on his jacket. And you're gonna want a scratch piece of paper because since you already have so much graphite down, you really don't want your hand to smear it. So I will grab some scratch paper and I want to use my Alvin drafting brush to go ahead and clean off the eraser crumbs that are on the table. And so his hat has a black band on it. And ideally, I recommend not using a mechanical pencil on this. If you can switch over to a graphite pencil, that'll save your hands. Let's see if I have a graphite pencil in the right darkness. Let's see. We have a Palomino Blackwing. Can you tell I don't use regular pencils. I do have a Tombow, but it's a 3B, so it's going to be too dark. Let's see. What are you? I don't even know what you are. I think it was sent to me in an Art Snacks a while back. And it is a, let's try that. It's a carpenter's pencil. They even sent like a specialty sharpener for it, which I thought was neat. And as you can see, the graphite isn't quite as dark. We really want something darker than this. And I was just thinking about the commissioner didn't actually pay for all of this detail that I'm putting in, but since I'm using this for demonstration purposes, I figured. And his hat has camo on it, so I'll mark that in as well. I just want it to read as camo. It doesn't need to look perfect. And since this is a black leather jacket, it's going to have some highlight on it. And you can see that with the harder leads, the non-photo blue lead does create a bit of a resist as we're getting with this black leather jacket. I think this must be like an HB. All right, so that is the finished commission. And these are the tools we use to make it happen. So if this was interesting to you guys, if you're interested in using non-photo blue lead in your own art for sketching or for commissions, please keep an eye out for my 2.5K giveaway that's coming up soon. If you enjoy educational content like this and you'd like to help to see more of it, I do recommend you check out my blog, natosoup.blogspot.com. I've been writing about art supplies and posting tutorials for, let's see, gotta get it right now, 7 years now. That's a really long time. I wrote all through grad school while I was at SCAD. So there's a lot of art school information there too if you're interested or considering pursuing an art education. You can also help me create content like this by checking out my Patreon and helping fund content like this, because it takes up a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of supplies to do it. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope I introduced a new technique to you, or just open your eyes to something you thought might be interesting. I'm Becca Hilburn from Eno Soft Studio, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!